Well, hey there, friends. I'm calling this one Revelations from the Trails. Side note, I started to listen to the last episode I did. I wanted to do a sound check and get a sense of where things are at. And if any of you have siblings, you may understand what I mean, but as I'm listening to it, I'm like, dang, I sound a lot like my sister. And it threw me a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with my sister, but, being a sibling of, there's 4 of us, and I have 2 sisters, we always got mixed up, and I always wanted to be my own person, and then to hear my voice and go, damn, that sounds a lot like my sister, I thought, okay, I'm just going to be okay with this, even though there's a part of me that's kind of annoyed. But anyway, Revelations from the Trails. So today's not going to be super long. What do I mean by the trails? I just came off my run. I mentioned in the first episode a bit of my journey and my process of getting back into running. And honestly, it's exercise in general. So I mentioned last episode that I've also been swimming, and I shared some of the insights, I suppose, that I had whilst in the water. I love both, and the nice thing is that the swimming is something I can do no matter what the weather is, which has been great because it's been really fucking hot the last few weeks. But running just feels delicious to me when I do it with the intention that I set. And just in case you haven't listened to it, very quick, the intention that I set around my running was truly to do it out of joy and to always be in congruency with myself and to be kind to myself. So to be very mindful that I'm not letting my ego take the wheel. I'm not pushing myself to, run further than the agreement. I always make an agreement at the beginning of I walk up to the trail to sort of warm my body up a bit. Make an agreement for how far I'm going to go before I start running. And I check as I'm calibrating that distance. Does this feel good to me? Yes, no. If it feels good, awesome. If it doesn't feel good, then I check in to see, do I want to go further? Or is this too far, this distance that I've set? So just a little quick tip. I don't know. Maybe it's a tip. If it's a tip for you, great. But it's changed the way I approach going for a run, and I love it so much. And the pressure's come off. I mouth along to the words of the songs that I'm singing as I go. People are smiling at me as I'm going by. Maybe they're laughing at me. And I'm practicing truly not caring. One of the messages that has been consistently coming through for me in the last few months is about being my authentic self and the power of being my authentic self. So, yeah, releasing some of the conditioning around that. However, that is not my revelation that I want to share today. What is my revelation that I want to share today? I was thinking about the concept of trust and surrender and trying to understand what that looked like for me. So the other day, as I left the pool, I had finished my swim and I got to the door to walk to the car, and it was absolutely pouring torrential rain outside. So those of us who just come off of our lap swim were all waiting in the vestibule, waiting for a break in the rain, which didn't really come. Finally, after about 10 minutes, I said, fuck it, I'm just going to go to my car. I want to get my car home and get into the garage because it was a torrential downpour. Make it to my car. I'm absolutely soaked. Now, here's the good thing about coming from my swim. I already was wet. My hair was wet and everything, so it wasn't like I was really that worried about it, but it wasn't super comfortable. But as I get into my car, it starts to hail. Okay, cool. I don't like having my car out in hail. Hail can do a lot of damage. I'm going to assume everybody listening to this knows what hail is, but if you don't, it's balls of ice that get pelted from the sky. And typically, on our side of the city, the hail isn't that big. We're on the east side of Calgary, and by the time it pulls through the city, most of the big stuff is gone already. So usually it's smaller things that comes by our neighborhood. But sometimes we get some bigger pieces. So I'm driving home, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to be in the hail. I don't want to be in the hail. I want to get home. I want to get my car in the garage. I want to get out of here. And it took me, it's like a 5-minute drive. It probably took me 15 minutes to get home. I had to pull over a few times because I literally could not see in front of my car. And the whole time it's hailing. And on this short drive home, I felt absolutely sick to my stomach. As I mentioned before, a couple episodes ago, my car, I had to get the engine rebuilt last summer. It's still not working properly. It's been a point of frustration for me. There's been a lot of breaking around the relationship with my car. And I do have a relationship with my car, and I've been really breaking that out because it was an unhealthy relationship. Unhealthy in the sense that, like, it would just ask and ask and ask and ask and demand more, and I would just give it. Oh, okay, we need to replace the engine, cool. Oh, we need to rebuild this, cool. Oh, we need to do this, cool. Oh, we need to do that, cool. And it wasn't returning the joy that it should, right? It's something I love to drive, and I love having the car that I do when it works. So I'm driving home in the hail, and I can hear the hail pounding on the car. And I'd never, ever, ever had hail like that in a vehicle. And I just am sick to my stomach thinking, great. On top of everything else, now I'm going to have hail dents all over my car, which is going to even further drive down the value of my car. And I finally get home, and I pull in the garage, and got stuck in the garage for 10 or 15 minutes because it was hailing so hard I could not make it from the garage to the back door of the house, which is maybe only, 8 meters, yards, whatever. Anyway, so I'm out running yesterday. This happened on Friday. I go out for a run yesterday, which is Saturday, the following day, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about my car. I had obviously driven to where I need to go to get to my run, and I could see for the first time now being out, my car had dried, and I could see that there were indeed hail dents on my car. And it sat with me, and it really sat with me, and I just went, gotta be fucking kidding me. What else is going to go wrong here? I've owned cars since I was 17, and I've never, ever, ever had hail damage to a vehicle that I've owned, and I've had cars parked outside for years. This is the one vehicle that I've had that's basically been in the garage anytime I'm not out and about with it. So I couldn't believe that this happened. So I go for my run. It's in the back of my mind. I'm not really thinking about it, and all of a sudden I have this ridiculous revelation as I'm running, and I realize this car is not at my level anymore. And it feels so weird to say this out loud. But I've been doing deep work, and I've been getting ready, and I've been, driving forward to this version of me that I'm wanting to become. And this version of me that I'm wanting to become operates at a much higher level than the version of me today. And I realize that as much as I love this car is no longer at my level. This car is below my level. And it changed things entirely for me. And I thought about, again, Manifestation Babe. I mentioned this a lot. There's an episode that I think I actually mentioned the first version, or the first episode of my experiment here, about surrender. And she mentioned that how did she put it? The more resistance she is to surrendering, the more painful it gets. I'm like, I wonder what she means by that. And I kind of get it in some things. I've had some damn painful moments in my life, but I wasn't quite sure what it meant in the scope of my life now, because there's lots of good things happening in my life. And it's all of this is like fucking fireworks going off in my brain of revelations as I'm running yesterday, thinking about this car and thinking about this and realizing I've been in resistance to the up-leveling in my life because I've been holding the up-leveling as this standard that I want to achieve, but unwilling to let go of the things that exist in my life right now. And I've been telling myself that, I don't know what my next car will be. So for now, I'm going to love this one. And the main concept of it is fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that concept of saying, when I'm ready for the next thing, I'll know. And in the meantime, I'm going to be grateful for and enjoy what I have already. But what I was doing was I was hiding. I was hiding behind this and thinking, this car is amazing and it's everything that I want and I wanted it for so long and now I've manifested it, and if I get a new one I want something very similar and they don't make it, and so I'm just going to hang on as hard as I can to this and I'll just keep pouring money into it because this is the only thing that I could see myself wanting. And I suddenly realized it's not on my level, Amy. It's not on my level. So I'm holding on to something that is an icon of who I used to be. And there's nothing wrong with the car, and there's nothing wrong with being grateful for it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking good care of it while I am a steward of it. But I don't have to hang on to it as part of my identity. And I suddenly began to understand the concept of surrender. And I went, all right, universe, I'm ready. I'm ready for the up-leveling. And I don't know what that's going to be. And it scares the fuck out of me in a way. But I'm also excited about it. Let's do it. And that is the surrender that I wanted to share with you. And it comes through funny ways. And the concept or the idea of it being more painful the more resistant you are. It literally took the universe pummeling my car with hail for me to finally realize what isn't working. So, yeah, there's another story that I probably will pop onto later and share with you. For one, I'm steaming the hell up by the car because it's both A, humid, and B, I'm completely sweaty because I just finished my run. So I think maybe time to go home and have a shower. I am trusting that by sharing this, one of you, some of you, many of you, hopefully somebody's listening to this, will be able to understand a bit better about this idea of surrender. And maybe it will resonate with you and have you look at something in your life to go, what is it that I'm holding on to, that I am standing in resistance for some version of up-leveling in my life? And it could be anything. And not that, I want to be very careful about how I say this. The more we resist surrender, the more painful it becomes. However, don't bully yourself into surrender. True surrender only comes once you're ready for it. And surrender out of fear is not the way to make the decision and to take the action. So think about it deeply. Know that you're wholly supported. And if you're having moments where you're just like, what the fuck is even happening right now? Have a look. And take some stock around what you're thinking and where you're moving towards, and just see, is there something that I'm standing in resistance to? There's an amazing video from Abraham Hicks. I don't actually really follow Abraham Hicks. I should be clear, this is literally the only video that I've ever listened to, heard from, watched, whatever. I'm going to link it somewhere. Where will I link it? I'll try to find a way to put it in the show notes for you. So check out the show notes for the YouTube link. I think I can put it in the show notes. See, we're learning here together. I have listened to this video over and over and over and over and so many times over again. And it just keeps reminding me it's all about our energetic frequency and standing in resistance. And I highly recommend just listen to it. You don't have to watch a video. It's some kind of cartoon that's part of the video. I don't think it really resonates with whatever they're talking about. But listen to the message because it's so outstanding how she positions this idea of this resistance. And it's something that friend of mine sent me this video a year ago. I've been working my way through. So my car journey is just one more example of it. All right, friends, with that, I'm going to stop the rambling. I'm going to listen to that video on my way home from the run, since I'm going to have to pull it up for you. And I wish you all a phenomenal day.